I'm Shawn Coleman of Touchpoints, Cuddles, and Community, and I am a platonic touch practitioner and also a Cuddle Up event facilitator. And I've spent a lot of time talking about consent and connection and communication. And today I am really glad that we've gotten to a place where consent is required before touching folks. That's the general consensus. And we all know that there are times when many of us don't ask for permission, or where we get kind of lazy when it comes to close friends, family members, people we've known a long time. We might just find ourselves going over to their house and immediately kind of expecting a hug and going in for the hug before we asked, or perhaps like starting to ask, but then like going in before we've like gotten that permission, you know, like that whole like, can I have a hug type of hug? I think we've all probably been there. So that type of stuff is pretty common in our society. In this video, my point is not to shame anybody who's been doing that, but to just try to bring some more awareness around it. At this time, many people are choosing to kind of step back a little bit from touch, choosing to hug a bit less or perhaps not at all, choosing to share fewer cuddles and handshakes, etc., etc. And so I encourage you to really get in touch with your true yes and your true no around touch. Think about who you want to hug, who you might not want to hug, or if you want to like hug at all, or if there's just certain days when you want to hug, whatever, to get in touch with how you want to cuddle, communicate, connect around this time, and acknowledge that others might find some shifting ideas around touch as well. Like, that's a weird way of phrasing that, but anyway, so other people might be shifting their ideas around touch as well, and they might be choosing to hug less as well. So some of the people who you always hug when you greet them might not want to hug anymore. So I encourage you, even more than normally, to make sure that you ask that permission, that you give the space for your friends, for your family members, for your loved ones, and even your sexual romantic partners to say no for that hug if they want to say no, and to reevaluate occasionally if they want to reevaluate. You know, kind of take it interaction by interaction or night by night, you know, date night by date night if you have to, whatever the case may be, so that each of you has the opportunity to get in touch with your authentic yes or your authentic no as it shifts from moment to moment and as things change regarding the coronavirus. So that's specifically around the coronavirus. I encourage you to take this time to reevaluate and to really think through this. And I would encourage you, if there are people who you have blanket yeses with, to kind of look into that occasionally anyway. You know, outside of this time, you know, maybe in the future, every few months or, you know, a few times a year, you kind of check in and see if you still want to have that quote unquote blanket yes to always sharing a hug when you greet each other, or always having the ability to hold hands during the movie theater and during the sweet scenes, or, you know, reach out for hands when you're walking in the park together, or whatever the case may be, or other types of snuggles as well. But just making sure that you are communicating around that so that each of you has the space that you need to say yes or to say no. And if you decide that you are a no to something that you've previously been a yes to, I encourage you to reach out to your friend, your loved one, your partner, whoever, and let them know as soon as possible so that they know what to expect and they can respect and understand that boundary as well. All right, I love you bunches. I hope you're having a beautiful, wonderful day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Bye.